You spent 4 years and $100,000 on a piece of paper that promised you a future. Now, AI can do your job better than you can, for $20 a month. Here's the deal you were sold. Go to college, get the degree, land the career, climb the ladder. Except the degree costs $80,000 to $150,000 if you're in America, 40,000 euros to 80,000 euros in Europe. You took out loans. You graduated with a resume and a mountain of debt. The job you got pays barely enough to cover the interest. Meanwhile, a kid who skipped college spent 4 years learning to code, building a portfolio, freelancing, no debt, no lectures on postmodern theory, just skills and income. And now they're making 6 figures remotely, while you're $120,000 in the hole, working a job that ChatGPT could automate by next quarter. The diploma was never about education. It was about obedience. You sat in classrooms because a bell told you to. You memorized things you'd never use because a professor said so. You paid tens of thousands of dollars for the privilege of being told when to sit, when to speak, and what to think. And here's the part they don't say out loud. The system was designed that way, not to enlighten you, to standardize you, to turn you into a compliant worker who doesn't question authority, doesn't ask why, and shows up on time. Because the modern education system wasn't built by philosophers. It was built by industrialists who needed factory workers and militaries who needed obedient soldiers. And it's still doing exactly what it was designed to do. Producing people who follow instructions without asking if the instructions make sense. You weren't educated. You were processed. You paid 6 figures for it. Now you're in debt, and the only way out is to stay obedient. Keep working, keep paying. Unless you realize the whole thing was a scam from the beginning. Let's go back to Prussia. 1763. Frederick the Great, King of Prussia, just won the 7 Years' War. His military is powerful, disciplined, and obedient. But he has a problem. He needs more soldiers. And more importantly, he needs citizens who don't question the state. So Prussia invents something revolutionary, compulsory education, not for the benefit of the children, it's for the benefit of the state. Here's how it worked. Children were taken from their families at age 6 and placed in schools controlled by the government. They sat in rows. They learned to obey bells. Bell rings, you sit. Bell rings, you stand. Bell rings, you move to the next room. You didn't learn to think critically. You learned to follow orders. The curriculum wasn't designed to create independent thinkers. It was designed to create obedient workers and soldiers. You memorized facts, you recited them back. Were graded on compliance, not creativity. And if you stepped out of line, you were punished. The Prussian system was so effective at producing obedient, standardized citizens that it spread across Europe and America. By the late 1800s, every industrialized nation had adopted compulsory education modeled on the Prussian system. And why? Because the Industrial Revolution needed workers. Factories needed people who could show up on time, follow repetitive tasks without complaint, and do what they were told for 10 hours a day. The factory owners didn't need philosophers. They needed cogs. So the education system became a factory for producing workers. Sit when the bell rings. Memorize what you're told. Don't ask why. Graduate with a certificate that says you're ready to be a good employee. If you don't comply, you fail. Fast forward to today, the bells are still ringing. You still sit in rows. You still memorize things for tests you'll forget a week later. Except now you're also paying for it. Tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes hundreds of thousands. And the jobs you're being trained for, many of them don't exist anymore, or they're about to be automated. The degree in marketing, AI does that now. The business degree? Half the curriculum is outdated before you graduate. The liberal arts degree? Employers don't care. You weren't being prepared for the future. We're being processed into a compliant worker, just like the Prussian school children, except they didn't have to take out loans. The modern university is just the Prussian school system, with a price tag and a student union. It's still designed to produce obedience, still designed to standardize you. The only difference is now it extracts your wealth in the process. You didn't buy an education. You bought a credential that signals to employers that you're obedient enough to sit through 4 years of compliance training and go into debt to do it. So what does the system tell you when you realize your degree is worthless? Get a master's degree. Specialize. Sure, that's another $50,000 to $80,000 in debt. Now you're overqualified for entry-level jobs and underexperienced for senior roles. You've just priced yourself out of the market while adding 2 more years of loans. Do internships? Get experience? Great. You work for free or near free while you're still in debt. You're paying to work. The internship might lead to a job, or it might just be free labor for a corporation that ghosts you the day you graduate. Network. Go to alumni events. So you're supposed to spend money, you don't have to attend events with people who are also in debt and underemployed, hoping someone knows someone who's hiring. That's not a career strategy. It's desperation with hors d'oeuvres. The system solutions aren't designed to free you. They're designed to keep you in the system. Get another degree. Get more credentials. Go deeper into debt. Stay longer in the pipeline. Because the moment you step outside the credentialing system, the moment you stop believing that the next certificate will save you, the entire structure loses leverage over you. But here's what they don't tell you. The highest earning remote workers. The digital nomads making $80,000 to $150,000 per year. Most of them don't have relevant degrees. They have skills. They have portfolios. They have clients. They learn to code from free YouTube tutorials. They learn design from online courses that cost $50. They built businesses with no credential other than the ability to solve problems people will pay for. And they did it without debt, without sitting in classrooms, without waiting for permission from an institution. The escape from the diploma trap isn't more diplomas. It's learning skills that make credentials irrelevant. Here's the framework they're terrified you'll figure out. You don't need a degree. You need skills that generate income remotely. And you need to live somewhere cheap enough that even modest remote income makes you free. Let's build this. Real numbers. Step 1. Skip the degree. Or if you already have one, and the debt, stop doubling down. Ignore the master's program. Ignore the MBA. You're done paying for credentials. Step 2. Learn a high-income micro-skill, not a broad field. Specific valuable skill you can sell immediately. Web development. 6 months of focused learning, free resources, building projects. You can start freelancing at $40 to $80 per hour within a year. Copywriting. 3 months to learn direct response writing. Businesses pay $1,000 to $5,000 per project for sales pages and email sequences. UI/UX design. Learn Figma. Build a portfolio. Charge $3,000 to $8,000 per project. SEO consulting. Learn how to rank websites. Charge $500 to $2,000 per month per client. Video editing. Learn DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro. YouTube creators and businesses pay $500 to $2,000 per video. These aren't degrees. These are tools. You can learn them in 3 to 12 months using free or cheap online resources. No loans, no classrooms. Just focused learning and building a portfolio. Step 3. Start freelancing while your living costs are still low. Get your first client. Charge less than you're worth to build proof. Then raise your rates. Within a year, you're making $3,000 to $5,000 per month, working 20 to 30 hours a week. That's the income part. Now the geographic part. Step 4. Take that $100,000 you didn't spend on a degree. Or if you're younger and don't have it yet, save $30,000 to $40,000 working remotely for 1 year while living lean. Buy a house in rural southern Europe, stone house in inland Spain, southern Italy, rural Greece, or northern Portugal. $30,000 to $40,000, cash, no mortgage. You own it. Your living costs drop to almost nothing. Property tax, maybe $150 per year. Utilities, $60 per month. Internet, $25. Food, if you shop locally and grow some of your own, $200 per month. Total monthly burn rate, $400 to $500. You're making $4,000 per month freelancing 25 hours a week. Your expenses are $500. You're saving $3,500 per month while living in the Mediterranean. It's working part-time with zero debt. Now compare that to the traditional path. For years and $100,000 for a degree? Graduate with debt. Get a job that pays $50,000 per year in an expensive city. After taxes, you're taking home $3,000 per month. Rent is $1,500. Loan payments are $800. You're living on $700 after basic expenses, and you're working 50 to 60 hours a week. The traditional path, $100,000 in debt, $700 discretionary income, 60-hour work weeks, no ownership. The autodidact path, zero debt, $3,500 surplus income. The 25-hour work weeks, you own your house outright. One path chains you to a system that extracts wealth and time. The other gives you freedom, ownership, and surplus capital. And here's the kicker. The degree isn't even a competitive advantage anymore. AI is replacing the jobs that degrees prepared you for. But AI can't replace creativity, problem solving, and client relationships. The skills you learn as an autodidact are more valuable now than a credential ever was. The system wants you to believe you need permission to be valuable. You don't. You need skills and leverage. Both are available outside the credentialing system for a fraction of the cost. Here's the choice. You can keep believing the degree is worth it, that the next credential will unlock the career. That debt is just the price of entry. Or you can look at the math and realize you're being scammed. $100,000 for a degree that qualifies you for a $50,000 job you'll hate, or $0 for self-taught skills that generate $60,000 to $100,000 remotely within 2 years with no boss, no debt, and the ability to live anywhere. The Prussian system was designed to make you obedient. The modern university is designed to make you profitable for them, not for you. You pay tuition. You take loans. You graduate into a job market that doesn't value what you learned. And you spend the next 20 years paying off the debt. But you can opt out. Right now. Today. Stop equating credentials with capability. Start building skills that people pay for. Learn for free or cheap online. Build a portfolio. Get clients. Prove your value with work, not diplomas. Then take the money you're not spending on tuition, the money you're not paying in loan interest, and buy land. Buy a house. In a place where living is cheap and life is good. You'll have freedom the diploma holders will never have, because they're tied to expensive cities to service their debt. And you're working 20 hours a week from a village in Andalusia, saving more than they earn. The system doesn't want you to know this is possible. Because if everyone figured it out, the universities would collapse. The student loan industry would implode. And millions of people would stop volunteering for debt slavery. Your grandparents believed in the diploma because it worked for them. It doesn't work for you. The world changed. The system didn't. If this rewired how you see education and freedom, subscribe. I'm mapping the roots out. Stop paying for credentials. Start building skills and owning your life.